I'm back. We're getting ready to go live in just a minute. The number is 504-347-8188 for those of you that want to talk to me. We're not live yet, but we'll be live in just a few minutes. The number again is 504-347-8188. I hope everybody's doing well today. I am feeling good today. I got a good night's sleep for a change. And so I'm ready today. I got my coffee. I see thumbs up, but I don't see any numbers on my thing there. I don't know what that's about. The number is 504-347-8188. That's the phone number to dial. Um, uh, yeah, 504-347-8188 is the phone number. And whatever question you have, just try to word it as expeditiously as possible so that we can get more people in. Let me adjust my lighting while we're working on this. All right, let's see. Better. Good morning. Where's everybody from? Where's everybody from? I think we have about 2 minutes before we go live. What is the name of the radio station? The name of the radio station is KKNO. It's out of New Orleans, Louisiana. It's a local radio station that my family's owned for I think about 25 years. It's a Christian radio station, and periodically I utilize it to talk to people live through social media that I would probably never ever have the opportunity to talk to. And the way the system works is you dial the number to the station and she plugs you in, and we get a chance to kind of talk. I would encourage you to probably turn the volume of your device down when you're on so that we don't get an echo. But yeah, so it's a New Orleans radio station here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Pray for us, Pastor. We're getting ready to go. A lot of flooding. Oh, we would definitely be in prayer for you. Hi, Pastor. Hi, everyone. Good morning. We tune in on the radio station. Well, I don't think there was an app. I'm not certain. I don't really have a lot to do with the radio station. There was an app that the radio station once had, which we'll be getting again because we're getting ready to upgrade even to an FM. So when we upgrade everything and we get the app, I'll make certain that you all have all of that information. You can tune in. I'm on there. My brother's on there every day. Okay, here we're getting ready to go. 504-347-8188. Can you all hear this? Serving God. 8:75 a.m. Can you all hear this? All right, all right, all right. This is R.C. Blakes, and I know that you're not accustomed to me coming through at 11 o'clock on a Monday, but I just kind of had an inspiration to come live and to be able to take calls. And I'm presently streaming with my YouTube family from all over the world. Actually, they're on here from different parts of the world and all over the country. And for many, I've never gotten a chance to speak with. And I know that we're listening to this as well live in the city of New Orleans where we're based. And so I just felt like talking today. Hello, Linda. So
Crystal is on from Dallas, Texas, Pastor.
Crystal from Dallas, Texas. Hello, Crystal. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am absolutely fantastic. I am fantastic. What can I help you with today, Chris?
So I just recently was introduced to your YouTube channel by a friend, and I just wanted to thank you first of all for all the work that you've done, and bringing us this information. But I'm recently divorced. I'm 33 and I have 3 little girls. And I'm wondering how to proceed when the time comes in dating again and introducing another man into my children's lives without trying to, or giving them the impression that I am trying to replace their father. I have an oldest daughter who she has trouble adjusting. She doesn't like change, and the divorce was really hard on her. She's 6 years old, and so that's one of my questions is how to introduce a new man into their lives without her feeling like I'm trying to.
Well, and I appreciate that question because it really speaks to your heart as a mother. And at this point in life, your children are absolutely your priority. Your minor children are your priority. You said your oldest kid is 6, right?
Yes.
How many do you have?
3. They're 2, 3, and 6, and they're all girls.
Yeah. Well, the challenge is going to be the oldest child because she's at an age where, you know, she's somewhat conscious of what's going on. And I think making her the priority, taking your time, of course, as you're dating guys, that's not something that they should be involved in. They should not even have an inkling that you're dating unless this situation is really going in a direction that looks like it's going to end up in marriage. And if that be the case, you kind of introduce this person very, 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 very cautiously and slowly. It probably shouldn't be a meeting where, okay, this is somebody that mommy's interested in and this might be your stepdad. That's probably too fast. Just kind of casually bringing this person into the family mix and letting things happen organically, you know, and they will because your children are young enough to make the adjustment. And even your 6-year-old kid, she's young enough to make the adjustment, but definitely not allowing them to, you know, because you may have 2 or 3 suitors that won't pan out. They don't need to be privy to any of that. The only time they need to be privy to a man is when you've come to the conclusion and that man has come to the conclusion that this is a marital fit and this is what we want to do. And then even then, making the children a priority in terms of allowing that transition to happen organically. And that's important because even when it's getting to a point where you may be considering this person, or maybe this person has even asked you to marry them, I think before you even give them a definitive, you begin to bring them into the mix slowly, cautiously, intentionally, to see how the fit between them, that person, and your children is. Because if a person does not work with your children, this is not a person that can really go into your future with you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And at the same time, understanding that all children are little politicians. They will play one end against the other. And being wise enough to understand that, but then being cautious enough to really discern if this person loves my kids. This person has to do more than just like my kids. This person has to love my kids. Is this person safe for my children? Which I don't think you would go that far if it was not a safe person. But then, you know, just taking your time and not making the mistake that a lot of single mothers make, and that is to bring everybody that's interested around the children. It gives the wrong impression. It leaves the wrong memories in the minds of the kids, and it puts you in a position where you have to do a whole lot of explaining later in life that you shouldn't have to do. So just taking your time with that, and being intentional about it, and making the children a priority.
Okay. Could you also do some videos about that as well? I know I have a lot of friends who wonder about the same thing, like how to make that transition from being divorced with children still living in the house and, you know, dating and then eventually marrying, and how to blend families together after that.
Well, you know, interesting enough, Lisa and I, we have a blended family. I don't think it's something we
Okay.
talk enough about. Our older kids were kids that were from my first marriage. My first marriage, I was 18 years old. I just turned 18 years old 3 days prior to the wedding. Because if you know my testimony, I was a teenage father. I had my first kid at 15. And so I married the mother of of my oldest kid, and we had a second child. That marriage didn't work. And so when Lisa came on the scene, um, we had our last two kids. So we have a blended family. And there's a lot of personal experience that I have, that she and I both have, with blended families. And really some of the stuff that I'm sharing with you now, though I was a man, I made a lot of those mistakes. I took everybody I was dating, I would bring them around and bring the children out with them and all of that. My girl's looking at me like, what's really going on? And late in life, we had some real direct but comical conversations about that phase of my life, because they assumed a lot of things that were not so, because I allowed their little minds to have these impressions. But then after Lisa and I got married, there were roles that we had to play, that I had to play, since I was the biological and she was the step parent. And I had to be the bad cop, and she had to be the good cop. And the children developed a real loving relationship with her, because their love for me was unconditional. They had to develop a love for her. So she couldn't come in as a disciplinarian. She couldn't come in as the authoritarian. And I think that is probably going to be the case. And I think it's one of the mistakes that a lot of people make when they're trying to blend families, is that the incoming parent wants to enforce his or her position as an adult in the house. And it's really not about that. It's already understood that you're an adult. But it's about blending and developing a relationship with those kids, and understanding what the biological parent's role is going to be versus what the step parent's role is going to be. And when it all pans out, in a lot of cases, they find themselves as attached or more attached to the step parent as they do the biological parent, if it's done wisely and if it's done properly. So I will speak to it.
That would be great. That would be great.
Thank you for calling me today.
Thank you for answering my questions.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
After we have Sophia, she's on the line, and she is calling from Kansas City, Missouri.
Kansas City, Missouri. Sophia, is it? Hello?
Hello, Sophia, are you there?
You think Sophia hung up on us?
Okay, maybe she'll call back. I think that we kind of lost her for a second.
Okay, hopefully she'll call back.
There she is.
Okay. Where we at, Linda? That number's 504-347-8188. I know you're not used to this, but if you're on here, you can actually call me now. We are live, and I am taking calls through one of our local radio station in the city of New Orleans, KKNO. The number to dial is 504-347-8188. If you want to talk. Hello, who do we have, Linda?
Sorry, but then we have someone on the line, and I think Sophia, in the meantime, is calling back. So there's a caller on there right now.
Okay. Hello, caller.
Good morning, Bishop.
Good morning. Who am I talking to?
This is Glenn from Las Vegas.
God.
I'm actually from New Orleans, and I visit you frequently, and you actually put me on your front row.
Yes, man. I haven't seen you in a while though. How you been doing?
I'll be in town Thursday morning.
Good, man. It's been about a year since I've seen you.
Yes, sir. But believe me, I have been seeing you every day.
Wow.
I thank God that y'all have. I just thank God for the ministry. I just come to thank God, give praise. Thank God for the ministry. I thank God that everything y'all did. I thank God for everything y'all doing. Y'all have tremendously helped me because going through these past couple of years in my life, it's actually like you sit down and you're right there. You're actually a brother to me, in a sense, and I love it. And I just thank God for your ministry. I didn't have any questions. I just called for just to ask you to just lift me up in prayer. I became a single father. Just got custody of my kids. So now I'm going through the process of moving them in home with me and everything like that. But through the ministry and through listening to the ministry and listening to how God works through y'all, through you and your brother and your father, it helps me tremendously.
Well, Glenn, I'm praying for you, and I know that God has given you the grace to be able to do what is before you now. You're a great man with a great heart, and God is with you, Glenn, and it's going to be fine. I look forward to seeing you, and just put my eyes on you, and I know that nothing but blessings are in front of you. Thank you for calling me today, Glenn.
I appreciate it. Yeah, my kids are getting baptized on Sunday too at Mount Zion, so I'm gonna do that on Sunday morning.
Awesome. Well, man, I look forward to seeing you while you're here, hopefully.
And I will come check in with you before I leave. If not, just pass by the house, and say hello.
God bless you, man. I love you.
I thank you so much, and I just want to say, any young brothers that out here listening to this ministry, man, this is not just for women. This is for men too.
It is. It is.
I tell you,
it is.
Fast.
Thank you, Glenn.
Fast.
Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you.
Have a great one now.
You too.
That number's 504-347-8188. If you want to talk to me, we're talking live and in person. Linda, what we looking like?
Sharon is from Abilene, Texas. She's on the line right now.
Sharon from Abilene, Texas. All right, Sharon, how are you? Hello, Sharon. Are you there? All right, Linda, look.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, Sharon. How are you?
I am well. I'm so glad to be on with you. I want to say God bless you and thank you for your ministry, and I'm so glad I got on.
Oh, thank you for calling me. What a privilege it is for me. How can I help you today, Sharon?
Well, I just about 2 months ago found you on YouTube, and I subscribed, and I've been listening. I'm kind of embarrassed to be on doing this, but I feel like it's necessary. I am 62 years old. That's the embarrassing part. Not that I'm 62, because I raised my children. My daughter died when she was 29, and then I raised her child who was 7 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I have worked for state government for 20-something years. I retired last year. God has blessed me. Let me say it like that. God's blessed me to raise my kids. But the one thing that I seem to never have been successful in is relationships. I seem to, as my dad puts it, always meet the kooky one. I never had the father-daughter talk. My dad was in my life, but not in my home. Or I wasn't in his home, so I never had the father-daughter talk. I never had anybody to ask the question, and nobody ever told me anything. So after listening to you, I came to the position that I was just doing it ignorantly, even though I prayed about it. I somehow I feel like I did everything wrong, because I did not know my value. It wasn't given to me or told to me or whatever. I just knew I needed to take care of my kids, so that's what I did. And I thank God for blessing me through that. But now I am 62. I'm divorced, and I live in Central West Texas, where women that look like me are not the prize here. Things like that.
Yeah.
And so when I do meet someone, I think I am so overwhelmed, because my preference, I'm a black woman, and I prefer black men in my life. I am at a place where I was just praying yesterday, and I said, well, God, I guess I have to just give up on that part and focus on something else. Or whenever I think about it, I have to do something else, because that's the one place I feel like I've always failed. And it's hurtful, because now, at a time when I can't do things because I don't have to take care of anybody, I don't have anybody. I don't think that I was awful, but obviously I was wrong somewhere. And for people my age, women my age, we still have life to live.
Absolutely.
We want to live it. But should we just give up? I mean, I feel like that now.
Well, and is it Linda? Sharon. I'm getting you confused with Linda in the radio station. Lord have mercy. Sharon, I apologize. Listen, you should not feel embarrassed by this, because all of us, we live and we function in life based on the information we've been given, the experiences we've had. And you would be amazed at how many women that are listening to you right now who are your age and older who struggle with the same thing. I have women in their 70s that reach out to me and say the very same thing. I never was taught this. And as a consequence, I've always done relationships on a level that's been beneath me. And my answer to this is, and I think this holds true for women as well as for men, for anybody, a relationship is not something that we can dictate. You can't prognosticate a relationship. We can't make a relationship happen. I can't walk out today, if Lisa were not in my life, I couldn't walk out today and just magically create a relationship that would be fulfilling and would be purposeful. So that's out of my control. That's kind of like in the hands of God. That's in the control of God. That's somebody greater than I that controls that. The one thing I can control is me as an individual. And ironically, just before I came on here today, I was having the thought. I've always taught that, and this was enlightened teaching at the time, that the world did not begin with the institution of the church. If you look at the Bible, the world didn't start with the church. The world started, I used to teach, the world started with the family, marriage. But then as I thought deeper, that wasn't altogether true, because the world didn't start with the family. The world actually started with a single individual. The world started with a single healthy individual. So there must be healthy individualism to create healthy marriages, that create healthy families, that create healthy communities. And my point is, at this point in your life, this is the greatest season of your life. Rather than obsess over the mistakes you think you've made, because all of us have made mistakes in relationships, rather than obsess over when will I have a relationship, when will this happen, this should be the season of your life that you really dig in and you manifest, that you actualize everything that God has put in you. This ought to be the season of self-discovery and self-manifestation. And while you're doing that, allow God to do what only God can do. And that is, God brings the right people into our lives at the right season. All we need to do is be prepared for them. I was not, when Lisa came into my life, I was at a point where I was not looking for any kind of relationship. God brought her into my life. God created that. And it's the only successful relationship I've had all of my life. And it's the only one that I wasn't necessarily looking for, because God did it. In the season that Lisa came into my life, I was on this quest for self-development, self-growth, and self-discovery. And while I was doing that, and while she was doing the same, God brought us together. And so the same will hold true for you. Don't lament the mistakes that you think you made, because they were just lessons. You learned a lot from those mistakes. You learned a lot. They were lessons. And a lot of great things came out of those lessons. But now in this season, take this opportunity to really dig in and to maximize you. Really learn to fall in love with you, probably for the first time. Really discover who you are, what you want, what you desire. Learn to fall in love with you. And while you're doing that, consequently, God will do the stuff that is out of your hands. You can't fabricate a relationship. Whenever we fabricate relationships, it always ends in calamity. but you can take your time to discover who you are, maximize your gifts, revisit your vision, your agenda. You know, what is it that you want out of life? And pursue those things. And while you're pursuing that, the right person that's going in the same direction as you will discover you. I don't care what part of the world you're in. The right person will discover you. God brought Lisa from Jamaica to Canada to New Orleans. God arranged that. And so he will do the same for you. And just know I love you and I'm praying for you. And all is well. All is well. Be encouraged.
Amen. Thank you, Bishop.
I love you now. God bless you.
Thank you. Love you.
God, y'all be patient with me now. I know y'all want me to get on and get off, but some of these matters require a little time. And y'all proven to me that y'all like this format, so we'll do more of it. Okay, the number is 504-347-8188. Linda, do we have anybody on the line?
That's right, Pastor. Deborah is from Florida. She's waiting.
Hello, Deborah. How are you?
I am absolutely wonderful. How are you?
Listen, if it gets any better, I think the police might come and arrest me because it must be illegal. I am doing absolutely fantastic. It's great to hear your voice today.
Well, you know, the last time I spoke to you, I saw you at QUEENOLOGY in Atlanta.
Wait, now what Deborah is this?
This is Deborah Armstrong.
Oh, girl, how are you?
I am amazing.
Wow. Wow. Now, is this the Deborah whose son is ill?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. My son has 2 brain tumors, and he has a terminal illness.
Yes.
And he, you know, every day is a blessing. Every day is a great day that God gives them to me.
And so, Deborah, you say you're doing amazing.
Yes. Well, you know, when I met you, I've been on this journey for almost 7 months. And when I met you, I couldn't talk. I couldn't speak. I just bled just emotional tears, you know, from all the damage that was done. And, you know, even though I prayed every night and I spoke to God and, you know, said my usual nightly prayer, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough because there were so many other things within him that I needed to heal myself. I needed to listen to things that you said to help me direct myself to heal myself. You know, I always, you know, would look at different guys or look at different things because my father passed away when I was 13. And I've been on my own since that time. And I just always spent my time encouraging men. That was my whole problem. I wasn't encouraging myself. I wasn't building myself. I was encouraging people that didn't love me, that didn't even care that I was encouraging them. All they wanted to do was use my knowledge and use my time and use my life up. You know, I'm 45 years old, and I have a lot of things that are against me, and every day there's weapons that are formed against me. Last week I found out they found a mass in my breast. My son was in a horrific accident, totaled his car. Him and his girlfriend had several broken bones. And I am here to say that even though all those things happened to me, I still stand in God's grace, and I pray every day. I get up with the grateful attitude that He gave me another day to seek His knowledge out and to help other people, encourage other people that just because you're 45, just because you're 65, just because you're 35, that is just a number.
Just a number.
God's wisdom reigns
forever, no matter how old you are, no matter what you've done, no matter what you put yourself on the back burner, you can always jump off of that stove because it's not worth it. It's so glorious to love yourself and to be that person that you need to be there for yourself.
Yes.
No man is going to do that for you.
Well,
And I just wanted to reach out to you this morning, and I just wanted to ask you, I really am finding so much joy in encouraging other women, and I want to welcome everybody to the R.C. Blakes Transcending Father Ones on Facebook. The group is just amazing. We hold each other up, whether we're up or down. And I just, I want to thank you and Lady Lisa, for providing this platform for me to be able to not only encourage others, but to heal myself. So I just wanted to know, what do I do with all this? I mean, it's so joyous.
Well,
how do I reach more people?
Well, what has to happen is right now there's an excitement in you because there's a liberation in your own spirit that you want to share with everybody. And what has to happen is you have to just intentionally take your time and pace yourself, because you don't want to open yourself to people prematurely before your process is absolutely matured and developed fully, because you'll have people that are sincere coming, and then you'll have people that have other agendas that will come to kind of drain you. And see, you are an empath, and you are a person that is a giver. And so you're kind of like me. You don't know when to stop giving. So you have to really pace yourself and just enjoy the process. Embrace the people that God puts in your path from, on a day-to-day basis. And don't overwhelm yourself, because even though you're in this process of self-discovery and you're sharing it and you're helping so many other people, life still has to happen. You still have a whole lot of things that you're responsible for and a lot of weight that you still have to carry. And so you can't give all of your energy away, because your family still needs some of that, and you're still human. And so just kind of slow it down and let things happen organically. Let things happen organically. But I love the way you're participating in the group Transcending. You're helping so many people, and so many people are in love with everything that you have to say. And we can just hear the health in your words. We can see what God is doing. And I love you. I thank God for bringing you into my life. And you are a blessing. You are a blessing. And just keep on doing what you're doing. Thank you for calling me today.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. It has been quite the journey, and I appreciate that. I do. I know exactly what you're saying, and I pray about it, and I try to give myself and everybody else a healthy balance. It's
You do.
like walking on a tightrope.
I love you, Deborah.
Love you too.
Have a great
Have
day.
a blessed day. Yes, thank you.
I'll see you in the
Bye-bye.
group. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir.
That number's 504-347-8188. Linda, what time is it?
It is right now 11:31. You do have one last phone call online waiting from Sacramento, California.
Can I go over a few minutes, Linda? Can I go over a few minutes since I'm taking so much time talking?
Yes, you can. And Aisha is waiting right now, and she's on the line right now.
I need to shut it down at 11:50. Linda?
Okay.
Yeah, I need to shut it down at 11:50, so pull me out at that point.
I'll put you up.
Who's waiting on me, Linda, and where's she from?
Aisha is from Sacramento, California.
Aisha from Sacramento.
Hello?
Hello, how are you?
Hi. Hey, man, I'm so glad I got through. I did not think that was going to happen.
Why didn't you think that was going to happen?
I was just calling and calling, but my mom always said you got to be into winning.
I'm so glad that you
Not
called.
to.
What can I do for you today, Aisha?
Well, I just turned 38 years old, May 15th, and I lost both of my parents. My father, 15 years gone. My mother, 5 years this year, both to drug overdoses. I have one sibling, my brother, very close. I have a 21-year-old daughter, and I have a 3-year-old son.
You have 21 and then a 3-year-old?
Yes.
Okay.
Me and my daughter have been at odds, and our relationship has broken. It started to break after I lost my mom. It took the death pretty hard. And I want to rebuild with her. I've been sharing your videos with her. I've been sharing it with myself, and it's very hard to rebuild and try to fix this because I was in a broken relationship with my youngest son, my youngest child's father, and we went through a lot in that relationship, and I'm still going through a lot, just trying to heal and break the soul ties and things of that nature. And I feel that a lot of things, choices I made in that relationship, my daughter saw and lost a lot of respect for me. Things that I tolerated, things that I turned my head to, red flags I didn't take heed to, and I think it really shifted her respect for me, her mindset of what a woman is, and I hate that I did not display a stronger woman for her.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying to rebuild that, trying to rebuild myself, trying to break free completely from the things that I feel that are still pulling me towards that relationship, and at the same time trying to just get my family back together. And I've been having a hard time this year. My mother's death. Her birthday was yesterday. She would have been 60. I had my son the first year. Well, actually, I lost her in April in 2014, and I have been trying to have a child for 10 years, but all of a sudden I got pregnant that year. I didn't have time to mourn her. I was pregnant. I didn't understand. I had all these emotions going, and it was very hard to even be happy during my pregnancy. Because I didn't understand why God would bless me with such a blessing and her not be here to see it. And this was the first boy, just 87.
Well,
I just called. Go ahead.
no, finish, sweetheart, finish.
So I just called in to get some insight. I listen to your videos all the time, and I get a lot of support from that. I get a lot of ways to change my life, and finding you on YouTube has completely changed my life. It has really, I have set boundaries. I have created standards. I have begun to really see myself as a queen. And but when you're conditioned, your mind has been doing something for so long. It's a process to try to change that and actually uphold that going forward. So I thought I would call in and just to get some more insight from you on how to move forward with rebuilding myself, my family, and breaking the soul tie.
Okay, I have some suggestions, but I also want you to, because see, you've been through a very young, a few years of living. You've gone through a few lifetimes of pain, and that's real. Some of the stuff that you just described in these few minutes is more trauma than a lot of people will endure in a lifetime, in a couple of lifetimes. And so what I really would like for you to do is to find a good therapist that can help you. And when I say help you, I'm not saying necessarily that there's anything wrong in your head, but there's a lot of confusion that you need to understand about some of the things that have happened to you in life. There's a lot of pain that you have to express and get out of so that you can, you said it yourself, grieve. You know, you have to be able to grieve some of this stuff in a healthy and in a positive way. Now, as it pertains to your daughter, sometimes, you know, parenting, number one, is it's on the job training. None of us really know what we're doing. We all make mistakes. And when we're young parents, we really make a lot of mistakes, and our children kind of grow up with us, and so they they resent a lot of things. And so some of the decisions that we made as parents, our children have to recover from. And I heard one person say no child should have to recover from his or her childhood. But all of us, to some extent or another, recover from our childhood based on honest decisions our parents made, just not understanding the long-term implications those decisions might have had on us. I think to begin to repair the relationship with the daughter, articulating, and you may have to do it more than once, exactly what you said to me just now about decisions you made and how you didn't know that they might be impacting her, and how you wish you had done some things differently. Coming into a posture where you put yourself in her shoes and you make her to understand that you understand that some of the things you did in her younger years didn't really serve her best interest and didn't really paint the kind of picture for her that you should have painted as her mother. And coming from a complete and total apologetic posture. Now, you know, she may get flip at the mouth like young people do, or just have a flip attitude. You can't let that distract you, because the whole aim here is to break down the wall. Break down the wall that separates you and her from coming into a place of understanding. And as her mother, yes, as her mother, you can do that. Somebody just put on the screen, give and it shall be given. What you want to receive back from her, give it to her. So give her the understanding and give her the respect and the time to hear you say, as her mother, I apologize for X, Y, Z, and all I want is just a great relationship with you. Because quiet as it is kept, she desires and she actually needs the same thing from you. She actually needs you now. It's just pride and probably anger and trying to prove that I can do this that may keep the tension there. But she needs it and longs for it more than likely more than you do. But you're the adult here, even though she's 21 years old. In terms of thinking, you're the adult. So you're going to have to initiate this. You're going to have to be the person with the wisdom to facilitate this. And you facilitate this by just breaking down and just giving her, just opening your heart to her and letting her really hear you and feel you on a level that she's never experienced before. And I believe that is also going to be the birthing of a brand new level of relationship between the two of you, a relationship of honesty and transparency that, you know, you all will get to the point where you can share and discuss and talk about anything. And at the same time, finding someone that you can really pour your truest feelings out about the deaths of your parents, which is traumatic, you know, some of the other decisions and choices and things that you've made in life that you feel like have held you back. Getting that stuff out, because you're not different. You're no different than millions of other people. But, you know, when it's me, it feels like I'm the worst person in the world. And getting to a place where you're not beating yourself up and you're not judging yourself harshly for simply being human. I hope I'm making sense to you.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. But having that, I think primarily having that conversation with your daughter, you know, just a real heart-to-heart where you break down all of the defensiveness and you just give it to her raw, man, that I'm your mom, I love you, I need you in my life, because she needs you more than she will ever articulate at this point. She's trying to prove something, but she needs you in her life. You know how badly she needs you. She needs you as much as you needed your mother. And she may need you even more. And so it's your role as parent to open those lines of communication. And it doesn't matter who's right or wrong. This is just about repairing your family, man, and doing what you need to do. Email me at pastorrcblakes@gmail.com and put something in bold that you're the lady that I talked to on the radio or something, so we can talk more about this.
Okay, I really, really, really appreciate you. You've been godsend.
I love you. All the way from Sacramento. I'm jealous of your weather, though, but I love you anyway. I love you.
Yeah, it's been raining out here
setup.
I love you. Have a great one,
Thank you so
baby.
much, Dr. Blake. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Pastor, we have got on the telephone line Tracy, and Tracy is calling you from Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio. Hello, Tracy.
Hey, Pastor Blake, how you doing today?
I am absolutely fantastic. What about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm out here queuing in the backyard. Listen to your broadcast right now on YouTube. So I figured I'd just call and ask a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Right now, I'm dating a young man. Well, we're both in our 50s, I should say. I'm dating a guy. He's divorced, but we've been knowing each other since elementary school. Our families know each other very well. I know a lot of his extended family members, his cousins and stuff. And he recently approached me about starting on dating each other. And I'm trying to figure out how to approach this situation. It's a little different because I never dated a person where I know all their family members, his sister. I even knew his ex-wife, stuff like that. And it's just a little different for me, trying to, in a sense, move forward and get to know him at a different level, at a different stage in our life. And, we both come from divorced parents. He's divorced. I've never been married. So I'm just trying to figure out, what's the best way to approach this situation. Because I asked him, what is he interested in doing at this point in life? Long-term relationships? Looking to get married again? Are you looking to, get it and quit it, type of stuff? So I'm just trying to get a strategy how to approach this.
Well, you've technically been knowing him all of your life and knowing his family. So, in my opinion, it gives you, I think it gives you an edge, or a leg up rather, because you really know something about his background, and genetics are more important than people like to admit. So when you look at, and you don't need to articulate your feelings one way or the other, but when you look at his family and his background, you get a glimpse somewhat of his psychology. You know what I mean? So if you see a whole lot of stuff going on in his family, you probably discover when you pull the layers back that some of that stuff is probably in him. If it's good, if it's bad, more than likely some of that stuff is in him. So that gives you some insight that most people never get in a relationship until after it's over. So now we're at the point where we just need to really, at 50 some years old, which is my range. If I were, if God forbid something happened and Lisa and I were not married and I'm single again and I'm trying to date, a lot of my focus would be on mutual interest, mutual values, a mutual vision. Where are we going in life? And fidelity. How capable? Are you capable of being faithful? That's important to me. Are you capable of dreaming with me? Because at 50 some years old, I'm in the prime of life in terms of accomplishing. And there are things that I see now that I want to bring to pass, and I don't need somebody in my life that's going to try to hold me back or doesn't have a comparable capacity to see, those kinds of things. And I think when you look at him as an individual and you assess him based on some of the things that are important to you, I just gave you some of the things that would be important to me. How does he measure up? How does he measure up? Is this a person that can really hold your interest for the rest of your life? Or is this, that kind of thing. And I think being direct and asking him the questions that you say you asked him, is this about marriage? Is this about kicking it for a minute? Are you a man that's just trying to have some sex and move on? I think that's important. And he should be able to give you some direct and quick responses to those questions, being a 50-some-year-old man, because at 50-some years old, you should know exactly what you want. You should know exactly where you're going. And if you and you're hesitant, that's an indication to me that there may be some arrested development, and I might need to move on as a woman. So you really have a leg up in this situation. It sounds like you may be attracted to him, but you're smart enough to understand that you need to do some investigation at the same time on a different level than you've known him all of your life. What are you feeling? Are you feeling positive vibes from this?
I feel positive vibes, you know. We talk on a regular, you know. He works. He's an engineer, so he's away at times. You know, he's at home at times and he's away at times. And we get together and we plan our schedule. You know, we share each other's schedule when we're in town, stuff like that. You know, I did ask him a question of what is he interested in doing, what is the relationship as far as us, and he said, you know, he wants to see where it goes. And, you know, that kind of put a pause on it for me. From there, like,
it should.
Where it goes.
It should.
Yeah.
And you should put a time limit on how long we're gonna be just seeing where it goes. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should put a time, because, you know, man to talk that I'm going to see where it goes for 15, 20 years.
Exactly.
And you don't need to be seeing where it goes after 6 months. You know, if you don't know if you can't figure out where it's going after 6 months at 50 some years old, you go see where it goes with somebody else, because I got to move on with my life. And don't allow yourself to get too invested emotionally. Don't allow yourself to love too fast, you know, until you really know that this person has a mutual investment made in this relationship. So you kind of let me know where it goes. I'm curious now, because, you know, I'm nosy by nature. I'm curious to know where this goes.
Will do.
I love you now. Thank you for calling me.
Love you. Thank you so much. Have a good holiday.
Thank you. You do the same.
All right now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. What you
Well,
say?
Pastor, it's about 12 minutes before, 11 minutes before the top of the hour.
Okay. Let me take one or two more. Let's see if we can get them in quickly.
Okay, you've got one caller waiting, and she is from Texas. Her name is Christy. She's on the line.
Christy from Texas. Hello, Christy from Texas. I'm in Texas right now.
Awesome. Are you serious?
I am very serious. I am in Pearland, Texas, presently.
Okay. Wow. It's so amazing because I came across you, a lady from church sent out and said just listen to this R.C. Blakes, and it totally went from there. That was back in January. And so anyway, long story short, I was listening to all these things. I wrote down it was like 10 things to ask. I forgot the name of it, but it was like 10 questions to ask. And I know one of them would be, would you go to church with me? The other would be, what is your position for marriage? What is the difference between a man role and a woman's role? I remember I wrote all that down because I said, if it ever happens to me, I'm going to ask these questions. Well, lo and behold, I was at an event, and a member came up to me, a church member came up to me, started asking questions. And I'm thinking, okay, so I diverted, didn't really want to talk about so family. I said, okay, we talked, and I took out my paper, and I asked all these questions. And he answered them just like you said. And well, nevertheless, we are good friends, but we're thinking about courting. And we've only been seeing each other for a short period of time. We're thinking about courting, but everything I can truly say is definitely lines up with the Word of God in this person. The hurt that I've had in the past, he doesn't rush me. I don't rush him. We are like best of friends. I'm talking about like I grew up in Texas, but I grew up in a part called Project, okay? But he comes from a different part. So it's like the Most High God took this personality, fit it with mine, because I'm more of like a go-getter, and he's like, I'm going to teach you how to be a go-getter.
Wow.
But he'll allow me to be myself. And that's what I love. But I listened to, and I even referred him over to, hey, this is R.C. Blakes about relationships and men and blah, blah, blah. He loved it.
Wow.
He said, oh, gosh, I've seen myself in this, and I just wanted to be able to, because with your hurt, you've gone through a lot of hurt, and I have. I want to be able to come alongside you and be all that I can be. And, you know, I see the seriousness in him, because I'm one of those persons, I'm a vet, I'm going to ask you questions. I literally and I walked off, and I said, but this is a woman is going to be after me. She's going to tell me what's what. So I better get it together because she ain't going to come down to no other level, so I better come up to hers. So I was amazed that you came back to me because I like to run you out first and see if you're going to come back. That's just part of my demeanor. I'm not mean, but I come at you. I told him, listen, it don't take nobody 2 weeks to have a conversation with me. If you got something to say, you're going to say, oh, leave me alone. And he thought, wow. So I wanted to tell you, like, I gave this information to my daughter. I have an older daughter, 22, and then I have a younger one. And I gave it to them because I wanted them to be able to, as going forward with their relationship, to be able to, to move successfully as well. So I didn't even think I was going to come up. I wanted to tell you, R.C. Blakes, oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being, for just asking to call, because what my father, who was passed on, and I'll go to this funeral this week, what he could not do, what he could not say, he gave me sidebar comments. It didn't make any sense. It didn't even add up to the word of God. It didn't add up. But what you said is like a life changer. I promise you, I listened to what you said, and I said, listen, that one, your wife loves you so much that if I cross that bridge, Father, I would want to have the same happiness. Because I see too much in marriage that people are not happy. They're not happy.
Absolutely.
But when I see how my wife looked at you, her background, I said, oh my gosh. So I know I'm just calling to say thank you so much. And I have emailed you.
Thank you for
and
calling.
I emailed you in reference to a book that I have. And I want to tell you more about that. Like I said, I'm gonna email him like every day until he sees this particular item that could be very helpful. But all in all, I really called to say to you, thank you so much.
Thank you, and your story, well, your testimony has really blessed me, and it's helped so many other people. And email me so we can talk about it, and tell me you the lady, put in the thing up there. I'm the lady that said I'm gonna email you every day. And
I will, and I want to tell you, I'm going to charge this whole course from the time that I started listening to you. I wrote it down, and I'm charting this, and the reason I'm charging this is because I want you to see the fruit of your labor that it works real time. This has been on a short period for me, but to say that I found love, I didn't find it. The Most High, our God, the Most High, He found. I didn't find. I wasn't looking for it. It came knocking at my door.
that's the way it's supposed to happen. That's the way it's supposed to happen. I love you.
Love you too.
Have a great one. Thank you for emailing me now. Let's take one more, Linda, then I got to go. I got an appointment.
All right, Pastor, we've got Deborah. She's waiting on the line, and Deborah is from New York City.
Deborah from New York City, how are you?
I'm good. Yes, I had to call you. I've never been able to talk to you. I think it's really great what you're doing. And I'm learning so much, and I'm so grateful.
Means a lot.
I said God had to say this to me.
That means a lot.
Even at a distance, yeah.
That means a lot, Deborah. Wow.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's really great because everything you talk about, it really helps a lot because, I meet some people sometimes and it helps me to know what I should be doing, So I'm really learning a lot.
How can I help you,
I'm
Deborah?
not a young woman.
What you mean you're not a young woman? You sound like a young whippersnapper.
I know, but I'm from up there. I'm up there.
Well, age is nothing but a number. It's the mentality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How can I help you today, sweetheart?
Being that I'm older and stuff like that, it takes a while to build a relationship because I tend to meet men, sometimes guys in their 30s and sometimes in their 80s.
Wait. You say you meet guys from their 30s to their 80s?
Yeah, like I would meet people in their 30s, or I would meet them way up in their 80s.
Wow.
I mean, like 70, 80 years old.
My goodness. So what's the problem?
Well, I don't want to go that low.
So
Yeah, I agree.
I'm trying to figure out, is it something about my personality that happens, or
That's I've never heard of that problem before. Attracted men in their 30s and then attracted men all the way in the 80s, which old dudes, they always want a younger woman.
right?
Um, I don't know. I don't know. I think, again, going back to one of the earlier callers, I think, just kind of really investing yourself in who are you, where are you going, what is your vision, establishing your personal goals, and just really kind of marrying yourself to that. And as the lady that just went off right before you, allowing that other stuff to find you, allowing, apparently you're an attractive woman to have so much interest, but allowing the right man, the right kind of man, the right age to find you at the right time, and not so much obsessing over, what am I doing wrong? Just the only right thing you can do is to be you, be the best version of you, and then the right person for you will find you at the right time, and you know it. You know it. I agree with you that a young man in his 30s, that's unpredictable. A man in his 80s at your age, you know that's not necessarily going to be fun. you know there's some pragmatic wisdom that has to go along with this process, but my point is just kind of obsess over self-discovery and self-growth, and let God take care of the relationship stuff. He'll bring the right person at the right time. Just be what you're looking for at the time. Maximize yourself, and let God bring the right person to fit that, whatever that looks like. Let God bring the right person into your life.
Yeah, I believe that's true.
I know
I,
it's true.
I started working on things. I'm reading the Purposeful book, Leading a Purposeful Life. You know that book?
Yes, I've heard of it. I haven't read it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's very.
Thank you for calling me. I'm going to be up in Philadelphia in July.
All right. So have a wonderful.
I love you now.
Love you so.
Have a great one. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I have enjoyed this, and I'm going to do it again. I never did it on YouTube, and you guys seem to like it. So I'm going to really, I'm going to do this more, and I'll let you know way ahead of time so that you'll be prepared. I have enjoyed speaking with many of you that I've never talked to before. And Linda, thank you for orchestrating this for us today.
Thank you, Pastor.
And I love you all. If this is your kind of thing, go and subscribe. Subscribe and hit the bell after you subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications, and don't forget to stop by my website rcblakes.com and sign up for my email list. Those of you in the Philadelphia area, we have a few seats left for Queenology Philadelphia, July 26th and 27th. Game Changer is happening in New Orleans, June 18th, 19th, and 20th. Go to focfi.org to register for the Game Changer. It's just $49 registration, $99 for VIP. We'd love to have you in the city of New Orleans. If you go to focfi.org, you'll see what the Game Changer is all about. And just know that Lisa and I love you, and we look forward to just continuing to minister to you, and hopefully to get to meet you. I love you. Have a great one. And remember this, you're on top and you're going higher. God has more in store.